Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Yes, so I've got a bit of repair to make on the fridge tray. On our last trip out, obviously we got a bit over carried away with the amount of bottles and so forth, as you do in the fridge, and what we've managed to do is actually break the tray, so it's just come away here and snapped. So obviously when you put the bottom tray in your fridge, it just continues to go down one side and not hold it in place. So what I thought I'd do today is see if I can actually just repair this. As it's an item it's not really on show, I'm thinking I can do something without actually having to replace the whole unit. And they're not that cheap, to be fair. I think when I looked before, they were sort of like between 30 and 40 pounds. So yeah, I thought I'd just go have a go at giving this a repair and seeing how we get on. Rightio, so here's all the different things I'm going to use. Obviously I've got the original bit of plastic that's broken away, and like I say, just make sure you keep anything if this happens to you, because it'll make it a lot easier for the repair to take place. A bit of sandpaper, just so again I can get on and rough that up, just so the when I put that in with super glue, that sticks in place, and that will allow it to just get that perfect sort of realignment than the way it was before it broke. And then I'll use a bit of 5-minute epoxy underneath this just to add as a bit of support. And then I've just got a couple of toothpicks to mix it up. Obviously a bit of cardboard so I don't get it on anything else, and a bit of tissue just in case I get super glue on my fingers and I stick them to the table. Yeah, these are the bits I'm going to use, and hopefully this will get the job done. So let's get cracking. Rightio, so I'll start off by just giving a bit of a sand, just so again we've got something for the super glue to stick to. And the idea is once this piece has been super glued there, just to get it into where it needs to be, I can then apply some 5-minute epoxy underneath and in the corners just to give it some support. Obviously when you put the 5-minute epoxy on, you don't want to go mad, on the basis obviously this needs to slide back in. So again, if you just cake it, you won't have that as an option, it will get stuck, so it end up sort of going in wonky or not at all. But again, you don't need to go mad on the back, I'm just going to give it a little sand just to get that where it needs to be, and you'll be able to feel it. But again, once this is in place, you won't actually see this at all. So yeah, that is the plan. If it was on show, then again I'll just get on and replace this first time round, but obviously as it's not, then we'll give this a try. So yeah, we'll just apply a little bit to where we can. Try not to glue my fingers. But if you've got the original piece, obviously you can get it back to how it was in terms of when it was before it was broken. So yeah, don't worry if you get any glue elsewhere next to it, because again you can sand that off. The idea is just to get this in place so it's back to where it should be, and then you can apply the 5-minute epoxy after. But super glue obviously do a great job in itself actually getting this to be strong, but obviously once it's got some weight it won't have too much underneath. But now that's in place, that's fine, that isn't going to go anywhere. Rightio, so I'm just using the 5-minute epoxy. It's probably the easiest stuff to use. Obviously you can get others, but again it can take longer to go off, so it's probably one I'd recommend. Doesn't have to be Gorilla, and obviously yeah, you just want an equal mix of product, otherwise what you'll find is it won't actually go off solid once you've finished. Then once you can pull back, get any excess off. And then it's just a case of mixing up. So now it's there in place. So the idea here is we're just going to put a little bit in here now and then towards the back. But again, not too excessive, otherwise, like I say, you're not going to get this in place. And because we've put a bit of sandpaper and used it and roughed it up a little bit, I'm hoping that will just allow it to stick. And then I'm going to go up the side of the plastic as well. So again, it creates like a bit of an L shape once it's gone off, but I'll show you this in a second once we've got it in place. Rightio, so there's a closer look at that piece. I've tried to go in to this corner, to that corner, and up a few mil, and I'll just let that go off now. It's going to take probably a good 24 hours to go off really solid and cured. Yes, it's 5-minute epoxy and it'll go hard, but again, I would recommend leaving that overnight. And then what we can do tomorrow is just check that over. This top bit, I'll give a little sand just to get rid of some of that colouring out, and then we'll take it back over the Caravan and give it a test. Rightio, so it's had about 12 hours to go off, and that's what it looks like now. So it's all flat again. Any excess is being sort of sanded off, apart from underneath where it's obviously going to need its extra support. But no, I'm hoping that should do what it needs to do. And once it's back in the fridge, you're not going to see that. It's going to be right in the left corner as well, so it's not on the outer edge, not for us anyway. So yeah, hopefully that'll be a nice little repair. Rightio, so the moment of truth. Perfect. So that's going okay. Like you say, you can hardly actually see where we've made the repair on that. It's slotted back in fine. So there is a bit of leeway in terms of the how much epoxy you put on to fix that. Yeah, I haven't had to do anything else apart from slot it in. So that should do what we need for the ongoing adventures that we have. But yeah, we'll soon see. And like I say, worst case, we'll have to get on and replace it at some point. Rightio, so that's it. So hopefully that repair will last. Obviously I'll keep you posted and let you know how that goes. Worst case scenario, yeah, I'm going to have to buy a replacement tray, but I'm pretty confident that will last for what we need. We'll just go a bit easier exactly how much weight we actually put in that bottom tray. Yeah, we'll keep Louise's wine bottles to a minimum. Yeah, like I say, hopefully that will last, but I'll keep you posted. As always, if you've liked the content, obviously please think about subscribing to the channel, giving it a thumbs up, and yeah, I will see you all on the next one. Cheers all.